You know that feeling when you're staring at a screen literally packed with multi-time frame charts and liquidation data, just wondering, how on earth do I turn all this noise into an actual profitable strategy? Well, you are in exactly the right place. Today's explainer is all about translating that raw, chaotic market data into a cohesive, highly actionable daily guide that you can take straight to the charts right now. Let's dive in. Here is our game plan for today. We're going top down. First, we check BTC dominance to lock in the market direction. Second, we unpack the bearish signals on BTC/USDT. Third, we hunt for targets using the liquidation map. And finally, we wrap it all up into a rock-solid daily trading strategy.
All right, part 1, BTC dominance and market direction. Listen, any good daily strategy absolutely has to start with macro capital flows. You've got to know where the heavy-hitting money is moving before you even think about placing a trade, right? Look at the stark contrast between the 4-hour and 1-hour timeframes here. That 1-hour view is wild. There is a massive, aggressive upward spike in Bitcoin dominance. That run-up is a critical tell. It basically screams that capital is rushing out of altcoins and flooding straight into Bitcoin.
So, what does this actually mean for your portfolio? Well, momentum shifts in the MACD dictate your risk exposure. This sharp dominance shift, especially when confirmed by the MACD crossing over, is your absolute cue that Bitcoin is taking the wheel. The so what here is simple. If you're holding altcoins right now, consider this a glaring warning sign to tighten up those stop losses. Seriously.
Okay, moving to part 2, bearish signals on BTC USDT. Let's check out the actual battleground.
Now that we know Bitcoin is hogging the capital, let's look at the price action itself. On the broader 4-hour time frame, it's pretty clear. We're looking at a heavy downtrend absolutely peppered with major short signals. It's literally a footprint of aggressive sellers stepping in, repeatedly pushing the price down, step by step, right from those upper ranges. But when we zoom in closer to the 1-hour time frame, the immediate threat becomes painfully obvious. It's essentially a sheer drop. We've got short signals flashing one after another with almost zero bullish relief in sight. I mean, trying to fight momentum this fierce, that's a fast track to getting liquidated. The bears are 100% in the driver's seat on the microscale. And to understand why this downward momentum is just so unstoppable right now, you have to look at the web of support and resistance lines. Bitcoin is violently crashing through crucial technical floors. The scary part is that every time the price drops, those old support zones instantly harden into concrete overhead resistance. The ceiling is literally getting lower, making any upward bounce ridiculously hard to pull off. Which brings us to part 3, the liquidation map. This is where we find our targets. So with all this bearish pressure, how do we actually find a winning trade? Before we look at the numbers, let's define our tool. A liquidation heat map is a visual tool that shows the exact price levels where highly leveraged traders are about to face forced liquidations. Think of it as your daily cheat code. It literally lights up the spots where market makers are highly incentivized to push the price next. All right, pulling up the 24-hour heat map from Binance, just look at those glowing yellow and green bands. Those are massive pools of trapped, highly vulnerable liquidity. Notice where they're sitting. There's a giant cluster hovering right around the 62,000 level and an even thicker pocket resting lower down in that 59,000 to 60,000 zone. Let's break this data down into a usable strategy. First, those bright colors mean high leverage. That's literal rocket fuel for the market. Second, these clusters act like super heavy magnets, dragging the price toward them. Third, as day traders, our prime targets to watch are absolutely that 62K mark and the 59 to 60K zones. And lastly, see those darker voids? That's low resistance. The price can just slice right through those dark areas to hit the bright bands. This map gives us highly probable strike zones for our entries and exits. Finally, part 4, daily trading strategy formulation. Time to pull it all together. Okay, we've analyzed the macro dominance, the micro price action, and those magnetic liquidity targets. Let's synthesize all of it into your actual execution plan for the day. Step 1, always check BTC dominance first to see where the macro capital is flowing. Step 2, confirm the price trend on multi-time frame charts. Do not trade against fierce momentum. Step 3, identify your liquidation zones by hunting those bright clusters on the heat map. And step 4, execute based on those exact targets. Seriously, don't guess. Let the visual traps do the heavy lifting for you. As you gear up for your next trading session, I really want this quote to stick in your mind. Hunt the liquidity before you become the liquidity. In a market this aggressive and heavily leveraged, Capital only flows one way, from the uninformed straight into the pockets of the prepared. So I'll leave you with this provocative question to ask yourself right now. Are you the hunter today, or are you the prey? Take this data, use it as your strategic guide, respect the momentum, and make sure you're the one setting the traps. Thanks for hanging out for today's explainers, and happy trading.